Hey everyone, welcome back to the Software Ideas Modeler channel. Today, we're diving into user story mapping. Specifically, we'll be using Software Ideas Modeler to create a user story map for a hospital management system. Before we jump in, let's quickly talk about what user stories are and why they're important. A user story is a simple description of a feature or task from the perspective of the end user. It typically follows the format: as a user, I want to action. So that benefit. This structure helps ensure that each story focuses on the user's needs and the value it brings to the system. In Agile projects, user stories are used to break down epics, large tasks, into smaller manageable pieces. So in this tutorial, we're going to use user stories to structure the development of our hospital management system and break it down into manageable tasks. Ready? Let's jump into the tool. First, we'll switch over to the Project tab in the ribbon at the top. You'll see an option called Add New Diagram. Go ahead and click on that. This will open the New Diagram dialog box. We want to choose the user story map from the Other category, so go ahead and either scroll through the list or use the Find box in the top left corner of the window. Once you've found User Story Map, let's give it a name. In this case, we'll name it Hospital Management System, and click OK. Now, it's time to start adding our user stories, beginning with the epics. In the toolbox on the left, you'll find an epic button. Click and drag that onto the diagram canvas. We'll name our first epic Patient Admission and Management. For the second one, we'll add another epic and name it Medication and Inventory Management. As you can see, these epics are automatically aligned in the row, keeping everything organized. Next, we'll start filling in our user stories. For each epic, we'll create stories that represent tasks for different user roles. Let's begin with our first epic, Patient Admission and Management. Drag the User Story button from the toolbox and drop it below the first epic. We'll name this user story Register and hit Tab to move to the next field. Now, we enter the role responsible for this task. In this case, it's Receptionist. Press Tab again, and we'll describe what this user story represents. Let's say register a new patient. Finally, for the reason field, we use the phrase so that, followed by the reason. Their information is accurately captured for further processes. Using this method, we can add as many user stories as needed for each epic. Now, let's break our user stories into sprints, which represent specific time periods in your project. Drag the Sprint button from the toolbox and place it on the diagram. We'll leave the default name for the first sprint. Then, we'll add 2 more sprints, just like that. To assign a user story to a sprint, simply drag the story to the row of the desired sprint, or enter the sprint in the bottom left field. You can also use the Properties dialog for more options. Here's a cool feature in Software Ideas Modeler. User roles aren't just plain text. They're actually model entities created in the background. Let me show you the advantage of this. To see this, let's navigate to the project sidebar and switch the view to the element list. Here, you can find the user roles you've entered. Let's search for Doctor, for example. Right-click on the Doctor node in the project tree and choose Rename from the context menu. Let's rename it to Hospital Doctor and press Enter. As you can see, the user role is now renamed across all user stories in the diagram. This feature makes managing and updating your model super efficient. And that's it! You've now created a user story map, complete with epics, user stories, and sprints. This method is great for keeping track of your project's progress and ensuring that every task is aligned with your end user's needs. If you found this tutorial helpful, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell for notifications on more tips and tricks with Software Ideas Modeler. Thanks for watching, and happy modeling.